Close enough. Fish.
Nice.
So I did it.
It should have a setting where it lands exactly where it took off, right?
Yeah, but when it was coming in, the obstacle avoidance was going off like crazy. And I had to manually navigate around that tree.
Yeah.
But it did really good. But when it got right here, I guess that log in front of it was like unsafe landing area. Do you want to go ahead and land? You got to hit OK and it'll finish landing.
Okay.
Now, yeah, last time it did that, the ride lawnmower was sitting there. And it was my first time flying it. And I'm testing it out and I come down. And it was dark and the obstacle avoidance doesn't work in the dark very well. It landed on the back of that lawnmower. And I crashed it in the first flight.
Right.
I was like, $7,000 just crashed.
Right.
That night of the...
Yui! Yeah, there's a screw in your tire. Are we screwed?
Mm-hmm. I got a screwdriver in there. If it starts leaking air, we'll just tighten it up.
Oh no.
Battle of the camcorder. Yeah.
You look more professional than me.
This thing ripped. See? Yeah, so I can only zip it up so far. But I love this jacket. It's really warm. It's a good underlayer underneath the coat. Works really good. So that's as far as I can zip it. I'm not throwing it away. I'll keep it till
Put some buttons
it rips apart. Yeah. But anyways, today I think we should go exploring. We either walk around here because we didn't go too far the last time we were out here. We went like what, a quarter mile down there. We went pretty far down that way. But anyways, maybe we should drive around. Just look for structures left and right of the road. And when we see something, we'll stop and check it out. But I remember the last time, whenever we left the campground, I saw arches and all kinds of stuff. So I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be deeper in the woods. It's gonna be better, you know, the deeper we go, but I didn't see too much. I mean, there was some stuff. That tree that we found last night that was like splintered and the top was jabbed down. Yeah, that was kind of weird. I was trying to like get it out of there, but a lot of times when you mess with those trees, something happens. I've had them rock throw. Whenever I mess with structures or things that they make, I don't know, it seems like it triggers a response when you mess with their stuff.
Don't touch my tree.
I agree, because it seems like for example, at Shelby's property, if you do some brush cleaning, cut a few trees down, it does seem like the activity will pick up or something will.
Yeah.
It's like a response to, hey, you cut down my trees.
Yeah. What are you doing with my stuff?
What are you doing? This is my property.
I've noticed that too, especially like when you're hunting. I mean, you're just sitting in their woods and then they kind of like react. Maybe they're tired of just sitting there waiting, like, when's this guy gonna leave so I can move through the area? Honestly, that stand that you have along the river, that's a good spot. That's creepy. There's some dark activity around river bottoms. There really is. Something about river bottoms. One time I was hunting on a bluff, that same area where I said I heard the owl calls and one of the owls barked like a Rottweiler. I was sitting there on top of the bluff hunting this food plot that my buddy has, and there's all kinds of arrowheads around there. But anyways, I was sitting there. I made this little makeshift blind. Down at the river bottom where the spring is, close to the Merrimack, I heard like a deer being choked to death, like torn apart. And I mean, it was screaming for its life. Dude, I got the darkest feeling. I was like, holy crap, something is being torn apart. I mean, it was definitely a deer, because I've heard deer that are being like attacked by predators, and they kind of sound like a goat that's being like choked, like yeah, it was like that, but like it sounded disgusting, horrifying. I mean, honestly, I felt bad. But something about river bottoms, man.
You know that Jim, his nephews, when they seen it, he seen it walk down the hill, and he just was scared, was sitting in the stand, and then he heard a deer down there like getting ripped apart, screaming, bellowing like you're talking.
Yeah, I've heard all kinds of people tell me that same experience. I don't know what they do. Maybe they like twist its neck or break the front leg. Mm-hmm.
Hitting the head with a rock.
Yeah. When you hear that, you think you'll go investigate, kind of see what's going on, but you won't. Like when you hear that, you're like, I ain't going down there.
Even when you got big high rifles, like,
Yeah. All I had was a bow, but I was like, hell no, I'm not going down there. Because that's the same spot I got screamed at and they pushed over the tree whenever I was camping there. I was like, oh man, they live around here.
absolutely not.
Mm.
It was over with a stick and string.
Yeah, it's kind of freaky. That's why I was wanting to find a waterway around here, because maybe we can experience the activity. That's why you and Shelby are both having so much activity out there in St. Francis County.
Well, it's like you said, you heard that wood knock that direction last night,
That way.
and I put the drone out that way,
Mhm.
and there's actually a bigger waterway over there than there was down here. And it looks like they all combined down over that way. It was about 1,000 meters. I think this is north of
Mhm.
moving towards, I think.
Yeah.
So I think you're right on it. You said we need to go down that trail.
Yeah. There's a place called Brazil Creek. Man, that's dark. Brazil Creek, though. Campground. I don't care about giving away locations because I might not ever come back here. I got so many areas I want to check out. There's an area west of the killing fields, and it's like the biggest, baddest, deepest woods I've seen on the map. I'm like, holy crap. Like, you think around Reynolds County is big, or even like around Doniphan, like this is just like solid woods. Like no houses, no county roads, like there's got to be just Forest Service roads around there. But I mean, it
I
looks
said
scary.
that one day when I was doing those foreclosure inspections, I drove down through there, and it looked like if you turned down the wrong road, it might be one of those scary movies,
Mhm.
like The Wrong Turn or something.
Yeah.
It's thick down in there.
I think we need to go top Mountain.
You said we're on Monkey Mountain or close to it?
We're close to it.
There's feral people out here?
That's what I hear. That and
Yeah.
cannibalism, and some other inbreeding.
Like, are we talking about just people that eat people, or are we talking about like the feral people that like left the Carolinas into the
There's
Smoky Mountains?
rumors of it. There's
Yeah.
not like, if you look into it, there's nothing actually written down on paper. You have to get on forums and read about people's stories about Monkey Mountain in Potosi, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
I was scrolling through TikTok or something, and a video popped up, and some lady was talking about cannibalism in Monkey Mountain in Potosi, Missouri, and then some other guy did like a what do they call that, where they clip it, and he's like, we don't talk about Monkey Mountain.
Really?
Everybody knows about it, but nobody talks about Monkey Mountain.
See, I told you about my buddy that had an encounter in that area where I found all the tree structures north of here, by my area. I don't want to say it on camera. But anyways, that's what he described. Like, he saw this giant beast, and it was just ripped like a bodybuilder, but it didn't have any hair on its chest. Like, it was like a peach color, but it looked like a Neanderthal, but it had like tusks. Or I don't know if they're coming, like going down or up, but that's what he described, like big tusks. And pretty much he described like a feral person. I'm like, that's not Sasquatch. It sounds like Sasquatch, but it's not. And basically, he saw something brown in the woods. It was hunting season, so he threw up the 30-06, and he said when he looked through the scope, his face just went white. And he noticed that there was more. There was like a clan of them moving. Yeah. But it sounded like feral people, honestly.
Okay, so we're on the subject of feral people, and you know, I'm a truck driver, so I'm always on the phone with a lot of people because it helps pass the day. A coworker of mine, because there's like 60 of us on the same haul,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll all talk to each other, and he knows what we do, you know, but he's never seen anything. He doesn't really believe in that, but doesn't discard it. And he lived down towards Mingo Swamp, and he used to run hound dogs.
That's
He's
just
about
east of Wapapello Lake, right?
right. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Right there. So he said that he went out with a buddy. They was running their dogs. He said they had an uneventful night, terrible hunt. He said he called it early, loaded his dogs up, went home. his buddy wasn't done. He was really wanting to spend the weekend hunting, so he decided to go back out by himself. So his friend goes out, and Brandon's telling us from his point of view. So he says he gets a phone call from his friend that went back out by himself, and he's real choked up. He said, "Man, he's crying." He said, "I need to talk to you." And Brandon's like, "Yeah, come over." He's thinking something terrible's wrong. And his friend comes over to the house. He's all choked up and teared up. He gets him calmed down. He says, "What is going on?" And he said his friend said that after Brandon loaded up and left out, he decided to unload his dogs and run them again. And he said the dogs got a hit, and he went to the dogs, and he said the dogs were going to the left, and he was watching the dogs, and he said, "I heard something on my right." And he turned, and he said his headlamp had hit this thing, and he said it looked like a woman, but covered in hair, like a small, no clothing lady that had hair, real long hair on her, and she ran towards the dogs. And that scared that kid so bad that he was done hunting, done, never going back out. And it messed with him so bad that he had to go to my friend's house, Brandon, and tell him what he's seen. And Brandon said that it messed with him so bad that he couldn't help but believe him.
Oh yeah,
because it really messed him up.
Like, I'm done with the woods, I'm done with hunting, I'm done with women.
You want to buy my dogs? I'm not running dogs no more.
I mean, seriously, did he say, like, did it look like a human woman, or like?
Yeah, he was like, the way Brandon talked is that it had hair, but it was real mangy. Like, it was more human than like Sasquatch. Like, he was basically describing like a feral person, almost like a caveman, but it was female. Like, female. And he seen this thing, her, run like just real fast, and he watched it, and it scared him real bad.
The thing was probably watching him the whole time.
Yeah, because it was, I mean, he just happened to hear it shuffling in the leaves and just, oh my God,
Yeah. They'll eat you, the feral people.
He told me, and we was talking about red eyes, and he told me another story. He said that there was a girl that lived down the road that his sister was real good friends with him. Brandon was a little kid when this happened. And he said that this girl was real gothic, and he didn't take this person as a Christian person. And he said this was one of his first life lessons, not to judge a book by the cover. And he said they were running around the yard and they were playing hide and go seek, and he said it started to get dark, and that girl told him and his sister and the other kids that were there that if we see these red eyes, we have to pray and it'll go away. And Brandon didn't think much of it as a kid. They was playing hide and go seek, and he said sure enough, they said there was something over there with like glowing red eyes, like they were powered. He said that he remembers, because he said he was little, said he remembers standing in that yard holding hands with the other kids, and that gothic girl was leading the prayer, and they were praying. He said it went away. And he said he remembers that. That's the only thing that Brandon had seen, because when I'm on the phone with him, I'm talking about this and all the stuff that goes on, and he said, man, I haven't had nothing happen other than this. And then my friend seen that feral lady thing, and then he talked to that person in all white. His sister and his aunt seen the same thing on a road like this, a dead-end road like this.
So feral people, they're out here.
Yeah,
They'll eat your animals. I've gotten reports from Stillville, Missouri, and a hunter contacted me. He said he was out in the woods bow hunting or rifle hunting. I can't remember what it was, but he said he saw this pair of black legs, just jet black, and he said he could only see from the waist down, and it was moving through the cedars. But I tried to get him to come on the show, but he gave me his number and I could never get in contact with them. There was another person from Stillville. They said we find tracks all the time off the Merrimack River. They said they live out of town. I was like, ooh. I've heard that before from people though, that they'll find awesome Sasquatch tracks off the Merrimack River. It's a really good area. I mean,
Get a bunch
really
of dry
good.
bags and we'll yak our way in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that would be the best way to go. Do a canoe trip from like Cook Station all the way through like Stillville, Cuba, and then probably a little bit past Sullivan, Missouri. Because you'd be hitting up like all the best Squatch areas through there. The upper Merrimack's really good, and the lower Merrimack's really good.
We should.
Yeah, I have a friend from church. I mean, I went to school with him forever, but he recently did a float from Cook Station all the way to the Mississippi River on the Merrimack. Yeah, and it, like whenever it was 0 degrees, him and his brother were out there. I saw his wife at church, and she's like, "Yeah, Richard's out there with Will." I'm like, "In this weather?" I was like, "You might not have a husband next week."
You could
She's
literally
like, "I know."
just turn over one time and drown.
Yeah,
Or
and
hypothermic.
they've been out there. Let's get out there. Let's do some squatching. Would you guys rather explore around here, or would you rather drive around? Or both?
I think the drive around idea, going down the next one down where we could see that waterway towards the wood knock.
Yeah. I would say that wood knock is like quartering to my left and about as far as you can see. So what would that be, about 100 yards? It wasn't that far away.
Hey, it could have been on the right of the truck.
Mhm.
The trail kind of wraps to the left there.
See like how back there you can see like some green pines?
Uh-huh.
That's where the wood knot came from. It wasn't too far back there. So pretty much where the Ozark Trail comes up to our camp. Yeah. But I mean, I wanted to look around and see if I could find any tracks, but there's the supernatural side to it.
That's,
They make
I know
noise.
there's a lot of people that don't subscribe to the woo factor, but
I wouldn't either.
there
unless
is stuff that it's happening, and it doesn't make any sense, and we can't discard why.
Yeah.
We have to take in consideration then, what if?
Yeah. Well, whenever I seen them, I'm like, these unknown primates are actually out there. And then I started experiencing the woo side of it when there was activity on the property. I was like, okay, there's something supernatural going on. But our minds instantly gravitate to the physical. You know, it's an unknown creature. Science just doesn't have an explanation. But then you experience things like orbs, them slapping the side of the house, and when you go out there, there's nothing there.
How can they walk through the woods that fast without making a sound?
Tracks just
Right.
disappearing in the snow in the middle of a field. I swear I saw one day. It grunted and then blew like a deer. I could see it. I could see the silhouette of it. It all happened real fast, but dude, it looked like it just vanished into thin air. Like someone threw dust up in the air and the wind took it. I was like, what the? I know, I saw it because like it grunted. I thought it was like a bear or a buck, like in July, like. And then when I looked over, it goes, like you could see steam coming out of it.
You probably just got done eating some snails and burped. It's like, oh crap, there's
Well,
someone there.
I was sneaking down the trail, like in my Crocs, like real quietly. So I think I threw it off. I think there was another one around. That's why it like did that grunt and blew. And after he vanished like into thin air, behind me, it sounded like wood knocks, like rapid wood knocks.
Like a woodpecker,
yeah.
but loud and deep.
Like someone rang the dinner bell, but with wood knocks, like pop, 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 pop.
We gotta go, we gotta go,
Mhm,
we gotta go.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I bet that's what that was. Like,
Yeah.
we gotta get out of
So
here.
I mean,
Human.
if I would have been paying better attention, I could have seen the one that was over here. But when that one grunted, I was looking at him. So they're on both sides. But the reason I snuck down that trail is because I'd be sitting in the chair, letting them come to me, and I'd hear something like small twigs breaking. And I heard it all summer, and I was like, okay, there's something there. Like something's coming up and watching me. It might be a squirrel or a bird, but I'm gonna find out. And I was walking down this trail, and I used the leaf blower to clean the trail off so I could sneak down it. But after I cleaned it off, I didn't use it for weeks. I just made the trail, never used it. But I was like, okay, instead of letting them come to me, I'm going to sneak down that trail. It threw them off. And what they were doing, they were coming up from the creek bottom, up a drainage, and hiding behind a cedar tree and watching me. Because that's where he was. He was behind. Remember when we were out at my house, there was like these pushed over cedars, and they like, the limbs were growing up. He was coming up that drainage and hiding behind that. But I mean, if they're supernatural,
It's like a small
none of
young
it makes
pine
sense.
tree that's been broke over and then it revived and it's kind of growing back straight, you know. He's got 2 of them coming up that, and you could stand behind that thing, like last night, you know, when you was walking, I was leaning up against that tree and you didn't see me. If that'd have been a pine tree, I could have stayed hidden very well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like that pushed over pine.
Yeah.
I almost feel like they do that, so they just got a spot to hide.
I was gonna say something about that when I got here yesterday. Was that like that when we were here last time?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I mean, anything could have done it, but
Yowie. Okay. Gotta keep an eye on him. I love this dog. He stays with me the whole time. Anywhere I go, he goes. Last night, whenever I'd get up and try to get the fire started, I'd pick him up off me, and then he'd get right back on. I'm like, dude, I gotta get out of my sleeping bag. He wouldn't let me go. Did you see anything that looked like Sasquatch sign?
there was that one X that was kind of bent over, but it could have been just deadfall. You know?
Yeah.
Some of the X's that you have found in the past were deliberate X's. And I've always gone off of your research, you know, like, because some of the tree structures you have found, there's no way it was deadfall.
Yeah, I know. There's a big buck rub over there on that cedar tree. Yeah.
Food's in here.
There's a pushed over cedar right there. Yeah, that's rotten. I thought it was a cedar. It almost makes me wonder if they walk the creeks, like whenever it snows like this, so they don't leave tracks. Or if they like jump from tree to tree, drop down every now and then, and keep going.
I don't think the temperature of water or the snow is going to affect these things.
Yeah.
Think about all the other animals that are out here with paws and feet, hooves. They do just fine in this weather.
Yeah. With how big their bodies are, they retain a lot of heat. That's why, like, animals in the Ice Age were a lot bigger, because by the time the heat exits the body, there's already more heat being produced. That's why women are always cold, because they're smaller than men. You always hear women say, "I'm cold," and you're warm.
Thermostat battle.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there's a lot of breaks and stuff down here, ain't there?
Yeah, there is. You spoke it into existence, man. You're like, my biggest fear is finding a crime scene back here. Some bodies. Well, wonder what's up there. Hey, knock it off, buddy.
Give me a neck massage.
Yeah. He's like, I'm here for you, buddy.
Support.
Yeah.
There's a deep little collar there.
Yeah, it is. That's why I didn't want to walk that at nighttime. See anything?
There's something big and black going to the left.
Seen that.
It looked black and
I saw something moving through the woods, but I wasn't sure.
Let me pull over right here.
Should we go check it out? This looks squatchy too. What did it look like to you guys?
It looked big.
Yeah, I saw something moving through the woods. I didn't see it cross the road, but
It looked like it, I didn't see it in the road. I seen it in these pine thickets going that way. There was 2 of them.
yeah. Let's see if we can find some tracks. Oh, maybe this is where it crossed. No, that looks a little old.
Too dark to be here, I think.
I always miss it. Yeah. We saw something big moving through the woods. They saw it cross the road. I'm not sure what it was, but it looked huge when it was moving through the woods. We're looking for some tracks now, and this looks like an area where animals would like to hide. It's still real thick in here. Possible waterway down here, so we'll see. Doesn't make sense. Things always happen whenever I stop filming. I'm always filming as much as possible, but still trying to conserve battery and SD card space, and as soon as I hit pause, something always happens. I guess the old rule, just record the whole time, really applies, but it's hard to be out somewhere for days if you're going to be recording the entire time. Not to mention it'll take forever to review all that footage and edit the video, but I guess it's going to be the only way to capture something. A lot of possible arches.
Turkey?
Yeah, that's all I saw were fresh deer tracks, so it must have been a pretty big buck or something.
Is that your dog?
Could be. It is now. Anytime there's a closed gate, it makes me wonder.
Why is it closed?
I don't know. You guys think it's like private land or public?
It kind of looks purple.
Yeah, it does. And there's a sign with no writing. Yeah. It's got a lock. Yeah, you could have made it. It kind of looked like there was water, but looking through the binos, I don't see anything. I think it was just a shadow. Yeah, let's go back. Come on, buddy, jump. Oh man, he tried. He tried.
I help you.
Alright, so we're trying to find some waterways, some fresh water. Fresh spring water. Places where there's fish, springs, caves. I don't know, these things can be anywhere, man. We just kind of have to look around and just get lucky. A lot of times you'll find stuff right off the parking lot. Maybe that's a good place to look, is right across the campground. Right in the entrance of the place.
Go up there next to the camp.
Yeah. Because that's where Sasquatch would leave sign, is like in the least likely area, warning people to stay out of the entire zone. They're not going to leave sign where they're living at. I mean, they will, but not like tons of structures. They're going to leave those structures where the deep woods meets civilization. Dude, he is like bullying you.
He chewed my sleeve up on this one.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna bite him back.
He's a cattle dog, man. Where's it at? The hell?
Maybe.
No, it's just camouflage. Yeah, it is. I can see it clear as day with my eyes, but when I look through the camera, it's like, where is it? Everything here can be explained though. Alright, look for tree structures. We'll all look in different directions, and just if anything sticks out, we'll stop and check it out. Because there's so much land here to cover that I think the best thing to do is just drive until we see an area that says, hey, Sasquatch territory.
Don't even see it.
Very well could be.
It's a small one just off to the right here.
Go forward a little. Right there. Yeah. I mean, it could have just fell that way, but it probably did. It just caught my eye.
You could have found him.
X marks the spot, man. Oh, there's a big buck rub right there.
Oh, there is.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad price. Where'd you get that at?
The grocery store in Cuba. Pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some beef bottom round steak, red bell pepper, and an onion. The steak's still frozen, but it'll cook.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Alright, we got everything chopped up. I think the stove went out, so I have to figure it out. What'd you hear?
Okay, me and Shelby followed your tracks from last night. And those are trails right here. I was like, oh man, the trail's right there. So we just walked down it. I'm just kind of vlogging what we're doing, logging it all in. I mean, Shelby could hear what sounded like a vocalization over this way. It was like, whoa. What the hell was that? We sat there for a second, and every time I'd start stomping, walking, the truck goes, what's this right here? And it do it again, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We stopped and listened. I'm out of breath because I held my breath just sitting there trying not to breathe on the microphone, trying to get it. But I know I got it because it's out there far enough that you can't.
The last one was pretty loud.
Yeah, it sounds like it's getting closer.
Really?
But I'll give you a copy of that.
No, you're fine.
But
I believe you.
over this way. Every time I'd walk, I'd do it again. I almost missed it every time.
So in that direction.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I was inside the tent cooking, making a racket, yeah, so I couldn't hear. But that's the direction where I heard that solid wood knock, and Yowie was looking that way and that way, so, and growling. So there was something around. He was definitely picking up on some type of animal, something.
I feel relieved because I finally heard something tonight, or being out here. Like, yes.
It's an active area.
Yeah, for sure. I know they're out here. The question is, why are we not finding tracks in the snow?
That is the question.
Yowie. So what's the plan? How much longer are you guys going to stay, you think? What time are you heading out?
I don't know. With that happening, maybe a little longer.
Okay. If you do decide to stay, I have the Cabela's fold-up chair, 360 chair. So, I mean, like I said, it's more comfortable than a cot. Yowie, get out of there.
This is kind of like fishing, and you're in a spot, and you know there's a great big white buffalo in there, and you've been fishing it for a day, and you don't get no bites, and you're just about ready to call it, and you get a bite. Like,
That's how it works. You give up fishing, and then one last cast, you're like, we're done for the day. Bam!
or the next guy comes along and catches it and has a wall hanger.
Or you give up hunting, get out of your stand, and boom, they take off running. There it was.
Yeah.
I only waited 5 more minutes.
I had $1 for every time that happened.
Every time you turn off record.
I know. That's when things seem to happen. Like, we were driving down that forest road and I stopped recording and you're like, something crossed the road. That happened with my buddy Jimmy in the Daniel Boone National Forest around 3 in the morning by a cemetery. He saw something black cross the road. I don't know if it was like a black cat or what, but
Did he show you that one black shadow footage we got?
I don't think so.
Just a blur.
I remember the one where Elias has your phone and they're like playing on your phone in the house, and then like you can see the hallway and there's a black figure standing in the hallway.
Yeah, it was his boys. They were playing with Sabrina's phone.
Okay.
And I was gone at work, you were gone at work, and Brittany had the kids somewhere. So it was just Sabrina and his kids. But you're right, there's something at the end of the hallway.
Yeah, something black.
Looks like a crawler.
Yeah.
Just kind of like around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't catch it. It was a couple years before we. What is that? We didn't have no dogs that big. That's creepy. And that's where all the activity in that haunted house would come from too. Is back there by the basement.
Really?
Yeah, the door would shake. Remember that? The basement door would sit there and shake, and then you'd open it up and the lights would start flickering. And, we hung a cross on that door, and you could hear the cross dingling on the door.
Really?
Yeah, because it was hung from like a rope.
Get you some holy water.
I think I have a video of the lights flashing. I think.
Really?
Somewhere. I think it's on Facebook.
I watched it somewhere. I think it's something I may have sent to Dad. How you can go back through your
It's creepy.
messages and look at all the files you've sent each other.
It does say in the end times, demonic activity is going to ramp up, and people are experiencing all kinds of stuff. I don't know, maybe that smell will attract them. Cooking steak.
That's what it was.
Yeah, they're like tacos. Maybe. I don't know. It smells pretty good. You guys could smell it whenever you walked up to camp, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shelby Kid, he's got good smelling. That scent's bad. It's coming back though.
We're gonna have to find something to blast on the Fox Pro gain collar during the day. But I don't want to do like a bunch of different ones like coyote, fox, and then owl, because that's not realistic if you're playing like every animal in Missouri in one little spot.
Yeah, there's a whole something going on over there.
There's a wildlife party on Forest Road 2603. Yeah, that wood knock was directly back there. Maybe it was something in the tent. I'm not sure. It sounded like it was distant. Wood on wood. Did you hear it, Shelby?
I was too busy reading.
Okay. Was it a solid knock? I heard one directly back there. Alright. Got some tacos. Needs more salt.
That wasn't enough.
That was not enough.
Didn't sound like it.
Well, the Ozark Harry Man should be here soon. I don't know if you plan on staying or hanging out, but either way, I'll keep you in the loop if something happens. Things do get crazy, and maybe I'll call you if you're not here. Be like, bring your drone, they're here.
Help! Send help!
Is Joe staying back?
I don't know, he'll probably just stay kind of late and then head back. I'm sure he's got to work throughout the week. I can stay one more night, and that's pushing it. It'd be ideal to stay out for like 5 or 6 days, or a whole week. Hell, even 2 weeks, but it's hard to find time. Like, if you just sit out in the woods, you're not doing anything. And you're burning up a lot of resources. It's pretty expensive to stay out here. I figured out the key though is like when you cook breakfast, cook enough for dinner. Because it's too hard cooking breakfast, lunch, and then dinner. Like by the time you get done with one, it's already time for the other. And you can like pre-make food, but it's kind of fun cooking in the outdoors. I think that's better though. Breakfast and dinner gives you enough time to explore.
Like that one time we was at the Killing Fields, we spent most of our time trying to stay hydrated and.
Dude, we went through so much water.
It was the hottest day of the year, I think.
Yeah. It's good to drink the whole time you're out there.
And don't eat yellow snow.
I mean, if they do come up, like I said before, like we're on top of this ridge. You can see all the way around you. That's what I like about it. But like you said as well, during the summertime, it's probably so thick and tick infested in here. There's not much you could do.
Burn them.
Yeah.
There probably ain't much in here since they keep burning.
Maybe.
We had something happening at the killing fields that one day whenever we smelled that bad smell. Then it'd disappear and then it'd come back. And it seemed to be like right there by that persimmon tree.
Uh-huh.
And that's where that orb came out of.
Yep.
That same day. Within an hour of smelling that. And like I said, it smelled like a New York sewer. Just
It was
rotten. Yeah, putrid smell. But that was definitely not a car. You couldn't see the road from where we were standing. Like
No.
you couldn't even see the camper up there.
No.
And it was moving up that ridge. Similar setting to this. Actually,
Yeah.
those hills are pretty big down
And
there.
that road runs downhill. This was going uphill.
Mm-hmm.
It was like going towards, like you said, camp.
Yeah, it was. It was coming up towards camp, and it realized who we were, and then it dimmed out.
Oh, been spotted. They're right there.
Mm-hmm. If we would have been sitting there in ghillie suits ready, we could have watched
One
this
could
thing
have floated
come up.
right by our camera.
That's the key right there. These things can manipulate energy through frequency, and they float as a ball of energy, not leaving any tracks. Then they appear in physical form, terrorize your camp, and then when you go out there, boom, they're gone.
Yep,
Where
I've
do they
played
go?
certain frequencies on a loudspeaker, and it don't seem to have an effect the first day, but a
Mhm.
few days after that, it does. I think there's some kind of attractant there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's why I bought that spectrum analyzer, because it can pick up like the frequencies and stuff, like radio channels, certain frequencies anyway.
I mean, honestly, when people used to say, like after I had these encounters, they're like, they're demonic, they're evil, they're invisible, they can cloak. I was just like, oh my God, everything's demonic with people. And then like the more I started doing research, I'm like, well, they're not wrong. I can't say they're right, but they're not wrong. So what is it?
There's stuff that me and you know about the killing fields that nobody will ever know.
Yeah.
To protect David. And
Dude, that one day we were on, like, in his backyard in those pines. Dude, I swear I saw something run like this.
that lemur thing.
Yeah, it was black. I think it had like white on it. But that's what I asked David. I was like, do turkeys run with their wings out like that? Kind of like, have you ever seen chickens do that? Or like after it rains, like the buzzards will be up in trees with
They'll
their
do
wings
that
spread out.
when they
Yeah,
run.
like that's kind of what it looked like, but running. I was like, what the hell? It looked very primate, but it could have been something like a turkey. I wish you could have seen it. And I had my camera, but by the time I saw like what it was gone.
We stopped recording, getting a game plan together there. Like, if the battery's good, you know, ready to head out again. You're like, whoa! Yeah. What? I missed it.
Yeah, whenever we're in the deep woods, I'm really looking. But when you're right there next to someone's house, you're not thinking about, okay, Sasquatch.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, okay. You know, we've walked around everywhere. We came from the deep, and now we're in his backyard. Like, I wasn't thinking we were even going to see anything.
Well, that right there is where David used to store all of his tractor tires, and they kept putting the tires in the middle of the road. That he's got a road around his property there, and just right there was where they was doing that.
He lives in the coolest area. I mean, that would be a dream property for any
is.
outdoorsman.
It really is.
Mhm.
You're away from everybody, surrounded by national forest. It's beautiful out there.
Yeah.
The cattle just roam and hope they don't get mutilated.
Yeah.
How many cattle did he lose last year?
A lot. I think like 2 or 3 calves, and within like the past month or this winter, he just had 2 new calves.
Disappear?
No, like born.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, that's a blessing. The Lord taketh and the Lord giveth. Because they definitely took calves, and I don't think you ever found them.
We didn't find that one. We smelled something, but there was nothing there.
Yeah, that was in that same time frame. We were thinking, okay, there's a calf. Or maybe there's like a dead possum in the woods. We didn't find anything.
It's That was the calf that had been tore up by a predator of some sort, and he was trying to nurse it up, and the mom wouldn't let him get close enough to it. The mom, the heifer, so he went back to the barn to get a spray bottle, I think, so he could spray it on from a distance, to kind of dress the wounds. When he came back, the calf was gone, and he's yet to find its body.
Holy
So what do you think's going on at your place? Do you think the land's cursed? Do you think they live there in the area?
all of the above.
Do you think there's Sasquatch, Dogman,
Oh,
the
yeah.
cryptids? All of them?
I think so.
Yeah.
The more you look into it, you're like, yeah, it's been going on for way too long just to be Sasquatch.
Yeah. I heard them that night that I camped. They came up. 2 solid whoops.
Yeah.
The last time I camped there was like wood knocks, rocks being thrown in the water. We heard vocalizations up from Adam's place towards your property.
We had that thing on in the. You were there that night for the when Sabrina was at home.
The growling sound.
Growling sound in the security camera.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was weird. Well, that tells me they definitely follow the waterways. Like that's what they're doing. They're following the creek that you live on and the river that Adam lives on. And I noticed, I think it's at your place, yeah, like probably like 50 yards down the creek, there's a spring that's pouring into it. I think they're following that. But I mean, that's looking at it from a physical standpoint, but there's also like something spiritual.
Yeah.
Because whenever I heard those whoops, I got up and like within 5 minutes I got my thermal. I mean, probably less than 5 minutes, and I looked, there was nothing. I mean, you think you would see something. Like maybe they had their hand on a tree and you'd see like a heat signature from it. There's just nothing.
Yeah, they were at least like just hiding. You would at least see something.
We've had that down at the Catfish Hole.
Yeah, that's why we bought that thermal drone, and we're still having that problem.
Yeah, it's weird. You'll hear them and then you'll look and there's nothing. Because last night when I heard that solid wood knock, I threw the thermal up, nothing. I mean, not even like a red spot in a tree. Like the whole night, not one heat signature. Joey.
It's funny you say that about that spring right there, because that's where Grandpa seen that wolf thing.
Really? Right there, huh?
It's a big black wolf.
What about
Crying like a baby.
Yeah, the one that was making the baby crying sounds, and he went down there to see what it was, and he seen that big wolf thing.
what about Old Man Gilbert? Did
So,
they find him close to that spring?
So the property used to, all that property down there, I mean, everything around that was all Francis. And Grandma bought that chunk of property from the Francises. Old Man Gilbert, his real name was Gilbert Francis.
Gilbert Francis. Okay,
So he grew up there.
Yeah, he was.
He had 3 fingers in one hand because of an accident. And they found him dead in the water right there where
Swimming hole is.
we all swim right there. Before you get to where we were camping, they found his body in the water with no water in his lungs, and it was ruled a drowning.
That is weird.
And for someone like him to drown, that's almost nearly impossible, because that man could probably swim better than all of us combined.
Right. You hear the baby sounds he's making?
Oof, oof, oh.
How did that make you feel last night? Like as soon as you showed up and he turns around,
I was kind
looking,
of frozen.
He growled and then he runs into the tent. That's what I told you happened.
You snapped me out of it. You're like, get the stuff. I'm like, yeah, get the stuff.
I was like, get your gun, get your thermal. They're here. There was something here. I mean, I don't know what it is. That's the key. That's why people can't find a body, man. There's a spiritual component to it. And I think back in the Bible when they're talking about the Nephilim, and there were giants in those days, and they also had supernatural abilities. What does that mean?
That they couldn't explain it.
I've
They
never
could do
seen
things that were unexplainable.
Yeah. I'm not seeing, I mean, I haven't like done an autopsy on one, but I'm not seeing the 6 fingers, 6 toes, 2 rows of teeth. So that tells me they're not the giants, but they created a new race of humans and animals, or else like on the ark, if the Bible's true, which I believe it is, they wouldn't have needed 2 of every animal, because they had to like replenish the earth. Not only man needed to start over, but animals as well. It's like, okay, here's the animals that God made. You get 2 of every kind, and the rest of them can be washed away. But not all of them died in the flood. And in the end of times, the Nephilim will return. That's what it says in the Bible. In the end of days, the Nephilim will be back. And I mean, what are we seeing? Because we know without a doubt they're out there. There's Sasquatch in these woods. I mean, I believe the people that have seen Dogman. I haven't seen one. I've seen a hellhound. I don't know what the heck that is, but I've heard a Dogman. You've heard this story like 1,000 times, but what I heard, I mean, dude, it would make you pee your pants.
That night when what's his face was there and it screamed.
Yeah.
That was
Just like what?
what, like 2 minutes long.
It was loud.
That night that you like shot in the woods.
Oh no.
No, it's when that other researcher that we don't talk about,
Oh yeah.
he'd come over and we'd all set up to listen that night. And I was getting my GoPro ready. He got all his stuff ready, and he was walking up the yard. And it started screaming, and he stopped dead in his tracks and was like,
What the F?
"What the fuck was that?"
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, that guy's
you're
got
the
a potty mouth.
professional.
You're the pro. You tell me, man.
We've been telling you all day that there's something out here that screams. We don't know what it is. He's like, somebody's messing with me.
No.
You gotta be kidding me. He said, what is that? I don't know.
Right.
Then
You're a cryptid researcher in a cryptid area, and you think someone's messing with you. Like, what are you doing out here? If you don't believe.
You don't believe me?
Stopped him dead in his tracks. None of us got it.
I was literally about to head over there, and I saw me, wife, and Rainey were on the front porch.
So we were at Jim's house, and it sounded like it was in the front of Jim's house because we was in the backyard towards Shelby's. He heard it from his house, and it was actually past his house closer to the highway. But from where we were standing, it sounded like it was in the front yard. It was that loud.
Yeah.
It's hard to fathom how big something would have to be that loud. Because, you know, he could start his off-road truck, and you can't hear it over there.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry you got to live there, buddy. No, I'm kidding. I got him too.
It's my little slice of heaven.
Till start.
The Legend of Boggy Creek. It's a nice place during the day, but at nighttime, whole different story. That's anywhere, man. You could be in the city in St. Louis, and it's like, oh, this is a cool city, and then at nighttime, it's like, get me out of here. But I'm like that anytime I go to St. Louis. I can't stand it.
I can't either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, city life's not for me.
They all drive like idiots.
Mm-hmm. There's a report that someone saw a dog man like right under the arch, and I'm like, when I drove through there, I'm like, dude, that's city. Like, there's no trees,
That would
nothing.
be so hard to believe.
Yeah, for me it is.
What if it was a Dracula?
I don't know.
Be a good spot for him.
Right?
There's supposed to be a time capsule on that arch.
There is.
Tesla designed the arch. And it's a gateway to the Midwest. That's why it's an arch. That's what people say about the Sasquatch arches. They're like, they're portals. I mean, I don't know.
It said it's designed to keep tornadoes and bad storms out of the city.
Really? It like grounds it?
Something like that. Keeps the vortex going or something. I don't know.
Really?
Weird. That's what they say, but yet again, all his stuff disappeared.
I've been up in the arch. That was a weird elevator ride.
I haven't been in there. No, really. I wonder what Tesla would have to say about the Sasquatch phenomenon as far as like the orbs and the cloaking, all the strangeness behind it. If there was anyone that could figure it out, it'd be him.
Yeah, he figured out with numbers real quick.
He'd be like, think in terms of frequency. Yeah.
1.2.
He'd be like,
8 miles per hour.
I've always wanted to come out here and blast frequency with a Tesla tower. Just
yeah, the Tesla coil or whatever.
Just
like what they did on Skinwalker Ranch.
yeah, just to see what kind of reaction we'd get out in somewhere like this.
Yeah.
Try it maybe in a few places and Who knows? This suckers may come running.
I've seen someone do something like that. I think there was a channel called Arkansas Bigfoot, and he had like a battery and all kinds of stuff. And,
Really?
yeah, it was kind of weird, but at the same time, you can't be a researcher without trying weird stuff.
Yeah.
It may look stupid, but it's like, what else you gonna do?
Right, right.
Because nobody knows. Hear the crows going on?
Mm-hmm.
I knew they would answer.
Like, hey, what's
And
going on?
Yowie. I knew Yowie would come check it out. What is it, buddy? What is it?
What was that?
Listen. It's just me. And the crow's calling back.
Oh, he's coming in. Let me turn around.
They're real territorial. Yeah, they realized it was us.
Yowie.
They're like, it's a trap! There's another bird going off back there.
Yowie's following Shelby.
Sounds like the birds are coming alive. Hey, it's good to know that there's wildlife out here.
Shelby gets attacked by crows.
That was it.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, he got some good vocalizations.
Yeah, he was.
He's the guy down Daniel Boone when you guys went down there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go grab the audio recorder and I'm gonna set it up on the other side of camp, probably about 100, 200 yards away, because that's where I heard that solid wood knock the night before. And down here, it kind of dips down, it kind of goes down. But Yowie was alerting me to something over here, but we've heard more strange vocals up that way, coyotes, owls, and that wood knock. That wood knock was solid. But yeah, it's gonna be dark here soon. I'm not sure what time it is. Don't have my phone on me. I haven't had my phone on me most of the day. Been too busy. Look at him. I don't know, I'd hate to move the recorder, but I guarantee you I'll move it to the north side of camp, and then something's gonna happen over here. But oh well, that's how it goes. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I have another audio recorder. We shall see. There's a lot of burnt trees over here, and I keep thinking I'm seeing something, but I'm not, obviously. Oh, another strange thing that happened yesterday was that light. I saw it reflect off my glass on my truck. I'm thinking it was a big shooting star, but I don't know. Maybe it was an orb. All right, there's the recorder right there. All right, so as soon as I moved that audio recorder, there was this strange owl vocalization. It was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Like it didn't sound human. I mean, it didn't sound like an owl. It sounded human, sorry. I'm tired. Camping will wear you out. As much fun as it is, it takes a lot out of you. Oh well. People called this glamour camping whenever I made a post. It's like, how's that glamour camping? It's not like I have this pink RV with like a shower in it and a place to do my makeup. Like it has a wood stove, but that takes a lot of work. You gotta wake up throughout the night. You got to stack wood, you got to cut wood, get all dirty. It is pretty nice though. Look at these Sasquatch at my camp. Freaking hominids. Alright, so we'll set up audio recorder number 3 in this white oak. Maybe I can bend it, I'm not sure, but it seemed like the vocalizations, the wood knocks, were coming from this direction. And it's a little bit higher up than where I had it at, but I don't know. I started getting, I don't know, I was getting a weird feeling. Whenever I took this down, I heard this strange owl vocalization down there, so it was kind of telling me like maybe I shouldn't have moved it. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'll move it in the opposite direction, and then the activity will happen where my recorder was. That's my luck. It's recording. So this is like a circus trick, man.
And just like that, you got an audio recorder in a tree.
What do you think?
You gotta work. That's a pretty good ways up there.
Yeah. Sasquatch is gonna come in like. Oh, people said to talk to them. All right, if there's any Sasquatch here talking to the microphone, I invite you guys to, I don't know, come play, vocalize. This is talking from a physical point of view, not a spiritual. I'm not inviting any evil spirits. I'm just inviting the forest buddies. All right, we're gonna. You putting the drone in the air?
Yeah, I got it ready. From my experience, seems like right now is usually the best time a vocalization happens, or at least in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, anywhere. It's the golden hour, like you said.
If one was to vocalize a couple 100 yards out, we could throw a thermal drone in the air and go that direction and hopefully get something on thermal.
Yeah. So you got it ready to go nonetheless?
Yeah, I got the battery changed. It only takes about a minute to have it ready to deploy. As far as turning it on and everything, you know, like the controller, make sure the air is clean.
You hear that? Owls are vocalizing.
I think so.
So.
Yeah, pretty good.
Might hit it.
I mean, it's worth a shot. See what happens.
Where was that coming from?
I thought it was coming from that.
Really? See, I thought it was coming from down there. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that sound.
Yeah, it sounded like the Ozark howler. Like that dog with horns.
Thing.
That thing.
It felt like it was coming from my right.
I thought it was coming from down there.
Now it's playing mind tricks on us.
Well, you got something to reply. To respond to your call anyways. Sit. Yeah, he's on alert. Yeah, he's kind of looking in that same direction that he was last night. And he's sitting right next to Adam.
What's that noise?
Oh, like highway.
You guys see that? That light up in the sky? I try to get it, but I can't. It's just not coming through for me.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah, my camera's not picking it up.
There's two more. Two more.
I heard like a limb crackle over there. You can definitely tell something moved around. But when I look on the thermal, there's nothing there. Thermal looks great tonight, though. I think you'll have pretty good success with the drone. And yeah, we went inside before that limb cracked. But again, there's nothing there. Not on the thermal, anyways. I think those are coyotes. It's almost colder tonight. Like the temperature was lower yesterday and there was snow. But with it being a little bit windy and everything melting, all that moisture in the air just makes everything so damp. It feels colder today, even though it's warmer temps. I don't know what you guys think. It's that moisture, man. A lot of people misunderestimate Missouri. They're like, oh, we're in Michigan or we're in Canada. It's way colder up here. When everything's frozen and like there's snow, it doesn't feel as cold, like everything's insulated. But when everything's wet and damp, yeah, and that wind is blowing, it sucks. I'd rather have snow and cold temps than wet wind. Yeah, we can't believe that Adam and Shelby left. Look at him. He had to go out there and check it out. He's such a good boy. Alright, so Adam and Shelby just left and the wind picked up. We haven't really heard too much. There's been some strange noises outside, but it just blows my mind how we'll hear like wood knocks and we don't find any tracks in the snow. Adam threw up the Evo thermal drone and we didn't see any heat signatures, even though we were hearing coyotes, we were hearing owls, and he threw up that drone like 20 minutes after we heard those noises and not one heat signature. And he took that thing all over the Mark Twain National Forest in this area and not one heat signature. Not a possum, not a raccoon, not any deer, even though there's tracks all over the place. I mean, every forest road that we went down, there were tracks cutting across the road everywhere, all over the place. And yeah, there was nothing on the thermal, and that's pretty unusual. So I'm just gonna hang out for another night, see if anything happens. Hopefully I get some activity, but I don't know if that's a good thing to wish for. And if something does happen, I'll be here to document it. Hopefully, of course, things happen when I'm not recording, when I'm not ready, and this stuff happens when you least expect it. Unfortunately, it's not, you can't really predict it. I don't know. one time in the Mark Twain forest, I talk about this all the time, at my friend Bill's cabin or his property, they wood knocked, and I was able to get my gear, gather myself, because fight or flight kicked in. I felt like I was like outside my body. The best way I can describe it, and I've never been in like a firefight, but if you were in war and you were being shot at out of nowhere and you weren't ready for it, like, what do I do? That's how it was when the Sasquatch showed up. It's just like, what am I supposed to do? And the property owner did have a rule, no IR, like what I'm using right now. And I asked why. He said, I don't want to scare these things off. I want to befriend them. So I was like, okay. So like when they showed up, it's like, holy crap. They're here. They're outside. What do I do? I remember going inside the cabin, getting inside my camera bag and just ripping things out of there. Like, what did I do? I was looking through different devices. My GoPro, the batteries are dead. It's camcorder, it's got IR. Like, what the heck? And I found my Zoom H1 audio recorder, and I was like, this will do. I'm gonna set this right in front of that Sasquatch, and I'm gonna record it. And I did get some good wood knocks, limbs breaking, it broke a tree, and it seemed to answer me. Like whenever I said, can you break a tree? Crack! Like that was pretty cool. But other than that, it's just audio. Later on, when I listened to more of Ron Moorhead's recordings from the Sierra Sounds and kind of how he did it, that's what he did. Like they heard the Sasquatch vocalizing up on the mountain, and like they went up there as close as they could, set that audio recorder, and let that thing roll. And that's what I did that night at the Mark Twain forest. Unfortunately, they weren't vocalizing. They were just wood knocking and breaking things, which, you know, if you weren't there, you could easily say, okay, there was somebody in the woods knocking on a tree, and maybe they had like come along and broke a tree. But no, it was Sasquatch for sure, and that's why I was there, because the property owner reported seeing these creatures, and it was pretty freaky. He said he got up at 3 in the morning with his flashlight because he heard something, and right there at the edge of the yard, Sasquatch was like laying down, and when he went out there with the flashlight, it got up and walked off, and it looked back at him. He said like when he got like a side profile of the creature, like he could see like the eyeball. Like, I don't know how he described it, but it was pretty neat. And that place is really cool. I miss going there. I miss my buddy Bill, who owned the property, and his wife Debbie that passed away. Sucks. Like, nothing lasts forever, and that's what I've learned. Seems like anyone that's having hardcore activity, something bad happens to them, whether they pass away or move away, and it's like, dang, the best leads that I get don't last very long. So that's a lesson learned for the future. When I meet someone with Bigfoot activity, I'm gonna have to go out there and I'm gonna have to hit it hard, because it doesn't seem to last very long. There is the killing fields, but it's been kind of dead when I go out there. But the reason for that is there's just so much land out there, like so many different places that these things could be. And I think the killing fields was just a food source for these creatures, and they'd move in looking for deer, looking for cattle, and they were there. But there's like a million other places just like it in that area. I mean, as far as like fields and cattle and remote areas. So heard like a thump, and then like a, I'm gonna say that was cows. We're really high up, like in the Ozark Mountains here in the Mark Twain forest, that you can hear the highway. Like whenever vehicles hit the treads on the side, you can hear that. And there's a farm on the other side of the highway. You can hear the cows. And we're not close to the highway. You can just hear it from here. Sound travels, so that's the good thing, is if these things vocalize, we should be able to hear it, or I should be able to hear it. Sounds like a giant bullfrog out there, and every time I hear it, like, Yowie, like, I don't know, does this movement, like, I don't know. He's been a really good asset out here, and he's my best buddy, so it's kind of cool to have someone, or a pet, to watch over you. And he's just a little puppy. He's been so good. He's so happy, full of energy, and I really love him. He's sleeping on my sleeping bag right now. He's just so tired. He's worn out, and it wears you out being out here for so long, and it's a lot of work. Just setting up this tent and the stove and getting the wood and constantly feeding that fire takes a lot out of you. And it took a lot just to pack everything up and get it out here. And then I had to unpack it all, set it all up, and then tomorrow I have to take everything down, and when I get home I have to take everything back inside. And people don't see the work that I put into all this, and I don't think very many people care, but it does take a lot. I don't know how much longer I can do all this. It's, I don't know, draining my soul. Even though it's something that I enjoy doing and it's something that I want, it's just becoming too much. I don't know if it's an unrealistic goal, even though these things do exist. There's researchers that have been looking for these things for like 50 years and never really found much. So I think I just got lucky. Maybe it was a coincidence. Maybe they marked me, tagged me. I have no idea, but it seems like now that I'm looking for them, the less I find. I don't know. I guess I gotta have faith and believe, stay positive, because being negative isn't going to get me anywhere. But yeah, I'm going to chill out for a little bit here in the tent, and then I'm going to go back out there with the thermal device and look around, listen. It's the best thing I can do, because you don't want to walk around blind in the woods. These are huge steep hills around here, and there's like deadfall everywhere, holes, and you don't want to be walking around out there at nighttime. And it seems like I've had more activity here and in my life just staying put, hanging out at camp. Then you hear stuff, things come in close, but it seems like when you go out there looking for them, walking around aimlessly, you don't find what you're looking for. A lot of times the activity finds you. I don't know. Sounds like something's moving around. Alright guys, I'll tune back in with you guys outside, and I appreciate everyone for watching. If you guys can, comment down below, let me know that you watched this video, let me know what you think. If you have any ideas, if you have any stories, let me know down below, and hit the bell notification, subscribe to the channel, and if you guys can, send your Bigfoot experience or eyesight encounter to sasquatchtheory@outlook.com. And yeah, even if you heard a wood knock or something came into your camp and it was an unknown creature, write up a short report and email it to me. Don't make it pages long. Like, don't write a book. There's something outside. But yeah, don't write a book. Just make it like 2 or 3 paragraphs, and I'll read it off on the channel. Who knows, it might take months, it might take years, because I get a lot of reports, but I just like to log them down. I save everything, and after a while, like, I start building up reports to where I'm like, oh, the Kaibab National Forest, you know, that name comes up nonstop. Or I don't know, the Appalachian Mountains. All of a sudden, like, you start getting reports from the same areas, and it gives you an idea of like where the hot spots are. But yeah, appreciate everyone for listening. got Yowie's attention. It's alright, buddy. He's going in the tent. I don't know if this freaked him out or something did. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, what is that? We'll see what happens there. We'll give it some time, see if anything fires off before we try something different. Like I said, we don't want to be playing all kinds of different sounds, everything in the Missouri wildlife kingdom, so we'll do little by little throughout the night. Alright, the woods is coming alive. Yeah, he came out to check on me and then he ran back inside the tent. He's like, I'm having no part of this. He's such a good boy. I played a rabbit in distress call, cottontail in distress, and coyotes went off, owls went off. So there are animals here. Still blows my mind that Adam didn't pick up one EAT signature on the thermal drone. You would think that thermal drone would pick up all kinds of stuff. I'm sure Adam feels discouraged. That's a high dollar piece of equipment. And you would expect to pick up something. Especially deer. So worn out. I'm not excited about breaking down camp and heading back. I wish I could just chill here as long as I could last, but I'm running out of food, running out of wood, and it would just take more work, time, and money to continue out here. A lot of strange noises out here. Yowie hears it. He's coming out to investigate. Are you investigating, buddy? What are you doing, little guy? What are you doing? Yeah, you're looking in the same direction as me. What is it? Yep. Yowie's panicking. What is it, buddy? Yowie ran in the tent. Something's around. We'll just let that go for a few minutes, and I'll check back in with you guys if anything happens. Alright, it's been really quiet out, and there hasn't been much activity other than wildlife going off in the area, and yeah, I have no doubt they're around here because of the wood knocks that I heard and the strange activity that I had whenever I first showed up. Maybe they just lost interest, maybe they don't want to do anything, but I'm gonna get in the cot, lay down, and I'm gonna pack up everything tomorrow and head back home. But yeah, we'll keep researching, and yeah, this is something that I plan on doing for the rest of my life. I mean, just being in the outdoors, because that's what I enjoy doing. So I'm always going to be on the lookout for Bigfoot whenever I'm fishing, whenever I'm hunting, whenever I'm hiking, whenever I'm camping. And yeah, I'm just going to enjoy life. And now that I'm aware of these things, I'm definitely going to be on high alert and very observant of my surroundings. But yeah, it's been a fun trip. I'm pretty beat up. I'm worn out. My hands are all cut up and sore. It's been cold out, and yeah, something happens tonight, I'll definitely turn the camera back on and try to record it. The audio recorder's out there, so some of the weird sounds that I've heard tonight, it should have picked it up. Maybe the wind's kind of been blowing off and on, but yeah, hopefully something happens whenever I go to bed. But yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. Alright, wish me luck. And yeah, I appreciate everyone for watching. Thank you guys, and I'm just tired. I apologize. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Tuning out. Alright, that was a really rough morning, and it was pretty tough to sleep for some reason. I did get some sleep though, but it was pretty warm. It wasn't bad with the stove going. The Ozarks man stopped by for a little while yesterday and dropped off some wood, so that was really nice. But I didn't hear too much last night. I think I heard some coyotes again, some owls, and some vocalizations that I wasn't really sure what it was. But maybe something happened while I was asleep, and the recorder was out there, but it was a little windy. And yeah, I just feel pretty rough this morning. Feel really stiff, sore, and worn out. My hands hurt, my feet hurt. I don't know why my toes hurt really bad. I don't want to take my boots off to check. I'll do that whenever I get home. But yeah, just everything's stinging and aching. But yeah, that's what it takes to camp out in the wilderness. So I got to give it to those people who make like survival videos, or people that just camp in general. It looks like fun, which it is a lot of fun, but it takes a lot of work. And those are the memories that we hold on to, because I don't know, it's something different. You're enjoying nature and the simple things in life. But yeah, I always remember my camping trips. It's hard for me to remember normal human things that we do, as far as like going to Walmart or going to the movies. But whenever I go camping or out in the wilderness, I seem to make memories that imprint in my mind compared to, I don't know, the synthetic life, I guess I can call it. But yeah, the stove's going, heating up some coffee. After that, I'm gonna cook some food, let things cool down, tear down the stove, tear down camp, and head back. But yeah, we're just gonna keep hitting it. My thinking is I'm gonna start camping in the areas that have had the most Bigfoot activity in Missouri, because just throwing a dart on a random spot in the Mark Twain National Forest, I don't know, doesn't seem to be working. But I don't know, I don't really know what else to do. I mean, even if you got a general area where these things have been seen, there's still a lot of territory there, like around my place. And I've told you guys that I'm around the Merrimack River. Like, I can get to the Merrimack like in 5 to 7 minutes, but still there's so much woods there and so much private property all over the place. It's like these things could be anywhere. They could be coming from anywhere, especially if you throw in like the dimensional theory behind it, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely a mystery, that's for sure. But I don't know, I enjoy the most just going out for the day, looking, and maybe staying till dark. Those seem to be the easiest trips for me to do. I mean, I have to bring so much stuff just to sleep out there, and it's like I'm not out there researching whenever I'm sleeping. But I guess if something comes around and wakes me up, then it'll be worth it. But after a while, it's like I could have just stayed till 1 or 2 in the morning and then went back home and went to bed. But I guess it's about the experience, right, my friends? Alright, I appreciate it, you guys. And if you guys can, make sure you like the video. Definitely be sure to comment and share your Bigfoot experience with me. I'd like to hear about it. Keeps the channel going. And yeah, if you guys have any ideas, let me know down below. And until the next one, I'll see you guys later. Making some coffee. Alright, I'm heading out to get the audio recorder. Hopefully we got something good on it. And yeah, I'm gonna bring my camera just in case I see something on the Forest Service road, because usually when I don't bring my camera, something happens. So I'm trying to make sure I got something nearby at all times. But it doesn't seem to be enough, because even if you have a camera nearby, something happens so quick and you pretty much just have to be rolling the whole time. But yeah, let's go get the audio recorder. We'll see if there's anything good on there, and yeah, I'll keep you guys informed. Now that all the snow's melting, it's a muddy mess out here. I'm bringing Yowie with me. He'll alert me if something's nearby, of course. He's such a good dog, and he's had a really good time out here. He's been playing, having the time of his life. You can tell he's ready to go home though, and I'm getting there myself. Yeah, we'll see. See if we can spot any wildlife. Maybe we'll find a structure or something. Alright, we are cooking up a late breakfast. I got some eggs and some fried catfish going. Trying to get the stove warm enough so I can get this food cooked. And yeah, we'll keep things rolling, guys. Alright, we're going to check some audio. We're going to plug up the audio recorder into the laptop and kind of see what we got while we're here cooking some breakfast. The wind seems like it's picking up, so it's going to be hard to hear. Alright, we got some eggs. Got a little bit of salt and pepper. Whenever I stop by the gas station, I make sure to get like extra sugar, packets of salt, silverware. I take advantage of the gas that I paid for. But yeah, it's a beautiful day. Yowie's enjoying his time. I'm enjoying the great outdoors. Honestly, I don't want to leave. I want to stay out here as long as possible, so I might stay the rest of the day. I mean, by the time I get done packing everything up, it's going to be the end of the day. So I might as well stay out here, explore, see what else I can do. Plus, yeah, Loving it out here. He's having the time of his life. He's such a good dog. Aren't you, buddy? He wants some of my food. The eggs are done before the catfish, and yeah, it's looking really good. I'll show you guys what it's looking like. All I have is olive oil to fry up this fish, so I'm gonna have to add a little bit more so the food doesn't get stuck to the pan. You gotta cook food when you're out here, because if the Sasquatch are around, you gotta find a reason for them to get curious enough to come in. Well, the fish stuck to the pan, and yeah, these Ozark Trail pans that you can buy at Walmart just suck. Everything sticks to them. And I was gonna get non-stick, but everyone says that non-stick's not good for you. I should have got cast iron skillet. That's what I need. But yeah, it's a beautiful day in the tent, and yeah, the anchor battery died on me, so the laptop died. I guess everything's been so cold, but yeah, it's all right. Things are getting messy in here. Yowie's worn out. He's tired. He's ready to go home. But yeah, things are a mess in here. Look at that. Everything's a mess. Alright, so I'm going to do some exploring before I tear things down. And when I get back, I'm going to eat lunch and pack up and leave. But I want to explore before I leave. It's just too beautiful of a day. I'm already here. And there's a lot of woods to look through. Come on, Yowie. I think Yowie's wanting to come. He's in there laying down. Yowie, you want to come? Let's go look for Bigfoot. But yeah, the wind's blowing from this direction. So I'm going to go... Well, it's going that way. It's going down that ridge. So I'm going to walk that way. I'm going to try to keep the wind in my face and see if I can sneak up on some animals. Hopefully I can lay some eyes on some hogs, some deer, find some sign, and yeah, I'm going to look around. So let's go. Let's get at it. So I'm heading in the direction where Yowie was growling. It's in the deeper forest. I mean, even deeper than where we are. And yeah, I feel like this will be a good area to look through. I haven't been down this logging road yet, but I think it'll be a good spot to look around. It's a beautiful area though. I'd love to live back here, have a cabin, and just hunt, fish, and look for critters. Who knows what's back here in these woods. And there's been a lot of terrifying stories told from the Ozarks. And there's been a lot of evidence that's been gathered throughout the years as far as strange vocalizations, videos, photos. People have found tracks and all kinds of things. Alright, here's the Ozark Trail. Kind of cuts through the back of camp, and it goes for miles and miles and miles. I think it goes all the way to Arkansas. So it's a huge trail. I mean, it's like one of the biggest trails in North America, and I think it'd be really cool to hike it one day. I know the Appalachian Trail goes a long ways, and I've been to the area. It's really cool. It's beautiful. And I certainly do miss the East Coast, but I enjoy the Midwest more. Who knows, maybe we'll find something out here. I noticed this strange tree when I walked down this trail earlier, and I'll show you guys whenever I get there. I don't think it's Native American. I hear a lot of people say that some of these trees are from the Native Americans, but this tree is not old enough to be created by Native Americans, but I'll show you guys nonetheless. It makes me think about Bigfoot creating some of these bent trees. Alright, so there it is. Again, I don't think it's a Native American tree marker. The tree just does not look old enough to be from the days of the Native Americans, but what if Sasquatch makes some of these trees, like they'll bend them on purpose and they grow back? Or it just broke that way and healed itself and grew back, which is very, very, very possible and most likely the case. Yeah, Adam had to leave last night because he has to work, but I know he felt bad about leaving me out here. But Adam, if you're watching this, don't feel bad. I like being out in the woods, and yeah, he just knows that there's things out there in the woods that you don't want to mess with, and yeah, these things are close to our homes, and we live close to society. I mean, we live pretty far from town, out in the woods, but where I'm camping at is way farther than where we live, and yeah, if these things are around us, then just imagine what's out here. But yeah, don't be worried, buddy. I'm doing all right. I like being out here. This tree goes right along the trail. I just don't see how it would have broke like that. Kind of weird. That looks like an axe, but I think it's natural. I think it just fell that way. We're looking for stuff that's more symmetrical and multiple things in one area, like a cluster of geometrical structures. You can tell like a raccoon was walking out here. There's another one of those bent trees. That's kind of unusual. They're all pointing in the same direction. Maybe it is something. Adam and I talked about this yesterday. There's so many tree breaks out here that it's just too much to ignore. Not really sure what broke those trees. Maybe like loggers back in the day, but there's a lot of them out here. Alright, we're pretty far back here on this Forest Service Road in the Mark Twain National Forest, and yeah, there's just all kinds of tree breaks. Like I said, it's hard to say if it was a logging operation or if there's just a bunch of naturally dead trees, but it's kind of weird. Makes me wonder. Again, I can't say everything's Bigfoot, but I am taking things into consideration. Alright, so yeah, he's kind of acting up. He's kind of staying close to me and hugging up against me, whining. Now he's nipping, but he was a little skittish. I don't know. I kind of heard something up that way, and that's the direction that he was looking. It seemed like something was following me. I'm not really sure. But I'm really, really deep in the Mark Twain National Forest, and I haven't seen too much, but I have no doubt that there's critters around. It still blows my mind we didn't see anything on the thermal devices, and especially on the thermal drone. I've been kind of debating on maybe buying a thermal drone, but it's like, I don't know. Like, that's a lot of money to spend to not get anything. Look at them. There's something following us. What is it, buddy? Something over there. Let me know if you guys see something that I don't. I can see a really long ways with these binoculars. They definitely come in handy. All right, we're about 2 or 3 miles back here on this forest road, and it just seems to be never ending. This looks like a really good spot though, just to sit up and observe the forest, possibly experience some activity. You can see a long way, so it'd be really cool to come back here and deer hunt one day. I've been looking for fresh water though, so hopefully down here in this bottom there's a creek, something. All right, I found a little creek, and it's not much of a creek, it's more of a drainage. I'm sure this thing runs dry during the summertime. There's a lot more spring-fed creeks on the state lands, on the state forest. Huh. Yeah, not a lot of water in the Mark Twain National Forest. There's gotta be though. There's gotta be some springs around here. All right, we didn't find anything, see anything, hear anything. We're pretty much back to camp. I'm so worn out, and all I had was this thin jacket, and I'm sweating really bad. It's pretty warm today compared to what it's been. I think it's gonna be pretty warm this week. But yeah, guys, this is the end of the journey at this section of the Mark Twain National Forest, and hopefully in the future someone in Missouri contacts me with current Bigfoot activity, and I think that's going to be our best bet for gathering some evidence and actually having some action, because you have to go where these things are, and they hide so well that you can't just go in the woods and necessarily find them. You might find some sign, but the chances of finding Bigfoot in the woods is pretty slim unless you're having Bigfoot activity. All right, I'm gonna pack everything up, head out, and I appreciate everyone for watching. Thank you.